Hello, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the month of June. We have a visitor here with us, Mr. Earl. If you haven't met him, Earl the Greatest Dane, my handsome boy. Oh, he's leaving. He was just laying under my desk here. I thought he was going to stick around for this reading. He showed up for the Cancer Collective, but I guess he doesn't want to stick around for Leo. Before we get into your reading today, I have to share that as I've been filming these videos for the month of June, I keep getting messages from the spirit animal crow. Yesterday when I was filming, this crow was going back and forth, zigzagging in front of my window here in the office, and I wondered to myself today, I wonder which animal is going to show up for the signs that I filmed for today. And lo and behold, this crow shows up again, not only in front of the window, but also on my back deck, which is a big deal because again, I have Great Danes. I've got two of them. Usually birds and other animals do not like to hang out on near my back deck because they're afraid of the dogs. You've probably heard that Great Danes are apartment dogs, and you know, these guys like to just lounge out and suntan on the back deck whenever they get a chance, especially after days like today where I take them for a long hike in the morning. So anyways, this crow spirit is coming up for you. So I'm going to read a message from the Animal Spirit Guidebook by Stephen Farmer. But before I do that, let's just call in some good energy here with the spirit of Palo Santo. Thank you, Sacred Palo Santo, for raising our energy, our physical energy, our energetic bodies, our environments. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Palo Santo. And I just want to remind you, you don't have to be in the physical presence of the Palo Santo, of the smoke or the smell or the smudge, because it's not any of those things that raises our energy. It's the spirit of the Palo Santo tree. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, the crow was showing up for all of you. So let's see what this crow has to say. If crow shows up, it means that you're on the verge of manifesting something you've been working towards for a while. It also says be very watchful over the next couple of days for any clear omens or signs that will guide you and teach you. I mean, yeah, the crow is a messenger. Thank you for the signs. Expect a very big change soon. Yes, please. I am here for it. I'm a life path number 5, so I'm all about change. I absolutely love that. The crow also says that you've noticed something that's out of balance or an injustice that hasn't been addressed, and it's important for you to speak up about it, okay? Let me know if that's resonating, Leo. And finally, you're about to get a glimpse into some future events that affect you directly. Beautiful. That's all so exciting. I love the message of the crow, and I'm excited that the crow is coming up. One of the other signs had a deer spirit as well that was just, you know, hanging out here. We've had some crazy wind and weather here, the winds of change. So the deer haven't been showing up in today's readings, but that crow keeps coming back. I wouldn't be surprised if I see this crow zigzagging again once again in front of my window as we get into your reading for the month of June, Leo. So I will start with some cards from the Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle. This is by Kelly Smith. If you're new here, this is my favorite oracle deck. I call it my OG deck because I've been using it the longest. I'm Jenny, by the way, if you are new here. I'm a shamanic healer and a women's coach, and at least once a month I do these videos here on YouTube. I also have some health and fitness stuff on my channel, as well as some guided meditations that you might really like. I will pull cards from the Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle deck primarily because I call this my tough love deck. That's exactly what it does. It calls us on our shit when we need to be called out on it. So let's see what's coming up for the month ahead for you, Leo. What is the primary energy for the Leo collective for the month ahead? Okay, I'm getting hidden treasures for you, Leo. Okay, so the hidden treasure card, this comes up when you were tapping into your intuitive gifts. Okay, some of you are aware that you have intuitive gifts, but some of you are not. Some of you are just now starting to realize that these experiences that you may have called a coincidence or a synchronicity in the past, they're not synchronicities or coincidences at all. There's no such thing. They're happening because you're meant to experience them. And I want to remind you that each and every one of us experiences our intuitive gifts in different ways. Personally, I believe that we're all psychic. We're all intuitive. There's that There it is. I knew it was going to show up again. I knew it. We're all intuitive. We're all psychic. We have our intuitive gifts show up to us in so many different ways. Many of us are familiar with our clair skills. So our clairvoyance is the obvious one, the one that we can see, you know, either we see visions in our meditations, or we can literally see spirit like right in front of us, or we get glimpses of colors or shapes or things that feel like, I think I saw that, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe it was out of the corner of my eye. That's just the obvious one. Then there's clairaudience, right? You might even hear spirit. You might hear messages. Sometimes this can be confusing for people. You might feel like you're a little schizophrenic, to be honest with you, because you might hear things and you're like, wait a second, what was that? Like, am I hearing voices? No, you're not hearing voices. You're receiving messages from your higher self, from your spirit guides, from your spirit allies, from source, God, the universe, whatever you want to call him, her, it. Those are just a couple of examples. We also have our inner knowing, our gut feeling, our senses. You might actually feel spirit on your skin. Some of us have clairsentience. You might smell that Palo Santo, even though you're not here with me. You may have smelled it as I was burning the Palo Santo. And let me know down in the comments if you are, okay? So you have untapped potential, and it's just waiting to be explored. That's what I love about oracle cards. They're a great way to strengthen your intuition, to deepen your intuition, to learn how to trust your intuition. So many of us were really taught not to trust our intuition. The example that I always give is like the creepy uncle. And, you know, you're like little and your uncle comes over and he's like, come here, come and sit on my lap. And you're like, I don't want to. My intuition is telling me no. Like our gut says, no, thank you. I don't want to sit on your lap. And then your mom comes over and she's like, oh, honey, just go sit on his lap. You're his favorite. He just wants to see you. He hasn't seen you in a long time. So because when we're under the age of 7, we look at our parents as if they're God, right? Like everything that they say is the truth because we haven't learned to rationalize yet. Children don't know how to rationalize yet. And we're just like, oh, okay, mom and dad say it's okay, so it must be okay. So this feeling in my body, this gut feeling that tells me no, that's uncomfortable, no, that's creepy, I need to ignore that because that's wrong. But what mom and dad say is right. So we get so disconnected from our intuition as children. That's why children are so intuitive. Like, look at all the little babies who are like staring off in the corner of the room. They're obviously looking at something. They're pointing at it. They're talking to it. Nobody else can see it. Why is that? Because that little baby hasn't learned not to trust their intuition yet. And you, Leo, you are learning to trust your intuition. You have gifts that are opening up right now because you're trusting your intuition. And take it from someone who was a fat loss coach, a macro coach for 7 years and did all the exercise stuff. Your intuition is just like any other muscle, okay? The more that you practice it, the more you exercise it, the stronger it's going to get. And just like any other muscle as well, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it, right? Muscle goes away super fast if you are not exercising, if you are not strength training, if you are not lifting heavy things, even if it's like the groceries. If you're not being super active, you're going to lose your muscle. If you're not using your intuition, you're going to lose it. So if you're not trusting your intuition, following those nudges, listening to those signs, and actually taking action on them, then your intuition is going to diminish. So that's a pretty heavy energy for the month of June. I shouldn't say heavy, that's the wrong word. That's a pretty powerful energy for the month of June. So I'm excited for you. All right, Spirit, are there any challenges for the Leo collective to be aware of in the month of June, please? I feel 2 here. Okay. Woo, we got 3 here. Wowzers. Okay, we got 3. For starters, you're getting celebration. So hang on a second. Maybe you already know about some of these intuitive gifts. It's time for you to celebrate. Take time out to celebrate, okay? So maybe, Leo, you can see how far you've come. Some of you have really, really leaned into your journey. And I just got big goosebumps. With what I was about to say, I just got big goosebumps. Major confirmation here. I feel like some of you are learning the beautiful art of forgiveness. Is that resonating? Please let me know in the comments because I want to know about that one. Forgiveness is huge. I always teach it. I'm a shamanic healer and a women's coach. In all of my coaching programs, I used to do fat loss and spiritual alignment, entrepreneur, business coaching. Now I call myself a spiritual mentor because it encompasses all of it, mind, body, soul, and a little bit of business too, because a lot of the women that I work with, they realize that they have gifts too, and they want to share those gifts with the world. what I love to teach is about forgiveness, because forgiveness really sets us free. When we choose not to forgive, what we're doing is we're hanging out in the energy of resent. And when we're hanging out in the energy of resent, we can only get so far on our journeys. And I feel like a lot of you, Leo, you are learning the beautiful art of forgiveness. You're getting out of that energy of resent. You're seeing people for what they are and who they are. And you're seeing that, you don't have to take things personally. When someone's judging you, that's just a projection of their own insecurity. When someone is calling you on your shit, well, maybe you needed to hear that. I mean, Leo, I know sometimes it's all about the Leo show, but sometimes we need to be called on our stuff. Sometimes we do. That's why I like this intuitive life coaching oracle deck, because it's the tough love deck. It calls us on our shit, right? This is saying that you have come so far on your journey. It's time for you to take some time out and celebrate. Celebrate how far you've come. And sometimes it can be challenging for us to do that when we still have major growth goals. Like when we're not quite where we want to be, it can be challenging for us to take time out and celebrate, because we're like, okay, well, I'm not quite where I want to be yet. But you're also not where you once were. So I really want you to look at how far you've come. I'm also getting the Universal Bank card for you, Leo. Now, I asked about what is the biggest challenge here. So I feel like the biggest challenge is that you might not be able to see how far you've come because you still feel like you have so much further to go, right? And the Universal Bank card is telling you that everything that you need to thrive is already here. Everything you need, it's all within you. And I know that sounds like cliche, like, oh yeah, I've heard that, it's really cheesy, I have all the answers within. You do. Do you journey? Do you meditate? And you got the hidden treasure card, so definitely journey, definitely meditate, because you're going to be receiving intuitive guidance from your higher self, from your spirit guides and allies. You're going to be receiving messages in these meditations, in these journeys. Like I said, I've got a few different ones here on my channel. You can definitely check those out. But what I like to do is just light my candle, cleanse my energy, cleanse my space as well. And then I take my journal and I write, I'm going on a journey to whatever. What am I going on a journey for? Am I going on a journey to receive a message? Am I going on a journey to receive guidance? Am I going on a journey to receive healing? Am I going on a journey to connect with a past version of me from a past life or from childhood? Am I going to connect with my inner child? Am I going to release anything? Am I going to release any limiting beliefs, any toxic habits, any toxic behaviors? Journey, because you got the Universal Bank card and the Hidden Treasure card. Those cards are like besties to me. They're like, hey, you have all the answers and your intuitive gifts are going to give you those answers. So that's really exciting. You also got the New Door card. So opportunities are coming your way. Make sure that you're opportunity ready, okay, Leo? Make sure you're not missing these opportunities. Make sure you're not missing these opportunities. Whatever it is that you've been calling into your life, it's ready for you. Maybe I actually feel like some of you, what I'm sharing with you through this reading so far is not new information. I feel like for some of you, you're like, yeah, I know. This is validation. This is confirmation. You've been working on it. And whatever you're trying to call into your life, it's ready for you because of the work that you've been doing. Again, celebration. You got that celebration card. Make sure you celebrate how far you have come, because this new door, this new opportunity, it's right here and ready for you. It's right here and ready for you. I asked about the challenge. That didn't feel very challenging. Is there anything that the Leo Collective needs to be aware of for the month ahead, please? I'm like, that doesn't feel like a challenge. That feels exciting. That feels exciting. I guess perhaps the challenge is trusting that intuition, trusting that Universal Bank, having that faith, that unwavering faith that everything that you need is within you. Okay, Leo? What else does the Leo Collective need to know for the month ahead? And I just want to share as well, once we get into the extended reading, we're going to see what goddess wants to show up for you. So, sometimes in your meditations and your journeys, you can go and you can journey to visit a particular goddess, and they might have medicine, wisdom, knowledge for you. And then we're also going to look at inspire change and healing with divine crystal energy. And this is going to give us a message of an archangel as well as a crystal for us to work with for the month ahead. We'll do that in the extended reading. So if you'd like to join me for the extended reading, you can find the link down below in the comments. Not only will you have access to an additional reading where we're going to clarify these cards, we're going to dive into those other oracle decks that I just mentioned, but you also sign up for the Sacred Self-Empowered community membership. And inside of that community membership, we meet together on Zoom at least twice a month. There's a bunch of other benefits as well, but that's my favorite part about the community membership is our bi-monthly Zoom calls, which I love so much. Thank you for those of you who are watching. Thank you for being a part of that membership. I'm excited and stoked to see what your extended reading has to say, because there's a lot of messages in here for you already. What else does the Leo Collective need to know for the month ahead, please? Okay, creative projects. And look at this, master number 22. Okay, so there is something here around your sacral energy, your sacral chakra. If you're not familiar with that, it's the one right down below your belly button, your pelvis area, your reproductive organs. It's your place of sensuality, place of sexuality, place of creativity. So some of you might feel like, your literal creative projects are calling for your attention. You might feel a creative spark in terms of creating art, creating drawings, paintings, like art like I make. Like, see these, my husband makes these metal signs back here, this big one right here and this big one right over here, but then I tried my hand at it as well, and I made these little ones. See where my finger is? So I took these little designs. I've got an evil eye, a crystal, and a mushroom, and I painted some wood and I made them on there, and it was so much fun. I loved it so much. A lot of my creativity comes through in my work, you know, creating challenges and programs and ebooks and all these different things, master classes, mastermind programs. So maybe you're an entrepreneur as well, and your creativity is coming in through your business. That's how you're choosing to channel it. Maybe your creativity is coming through with dance or creating things in, you know, gardens, or maybe even redecorating. I feel like that's actually going to be for a lot of you. Singing, anything like that. How does your creativity want to come through? It says it's time to get things done. Make your creative projects a priority in the month ahead. Okay, make your creative projects a priority. Your soul is calling for you to tap into that sacral energy, tap into that creativity. Now, when I'm trying to work with my sacral energy, I will wear the color orange. I only have like one orange shirt, but it's in rotation on my sacral days. I will eat the color orange, so I eat lots of oranges, carrots, sweet potatoes, things like that. I will use orange crystals. I really like carnelian when I'm working with sacral energy, but there's lots of different orange colored crystals, and just really tap into that frequency. The frequency of the color orange connects us with that particular chakra. So there's something beautiful for you here in the month ahead. I feel like it's going to be a fairly easy month for you. The only thing that's going to really get in your way is not having faith in your own intuitive gifts. I feel like you're being very divinely guided in the month ahead, and we'll check into what messages come through from the goddesses and the crystals and archangels in the extended reading. I feel like there's going to be more for you there as well. We'll also clarify these cards too. So if any of this was speaking to you today, Leo, I appreciate all the likes. You guys know how the algorithm works. The more that you like it, the more people who will see it. The more people who see these videos, the more likely I am to show up on the next ones next month. And if you're new here and you're feeling called to my energy, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. And I will see you on the extended, or I'll see you on the next one. Have a great month ahead, Leo.